My name is Gavin Stearns, and in my presentation titled The Amazing Pig, I'm going to share with you some things that make the pig the most unique livestock in the world. As you might know, pigs are very loud animals. With other livestock like cows or sheep, they're being loud, it usually means there's something seriously wrong. But with pigs, they just do it when they're hungry, bored, or need attention. Another thing that makes them unique is that pigs are the only livestock that wallow in mud puddles or water puddles. This is because pigs don't have sweat glands and it's hard for them to regulate their body temperature. So they have to cool down in a mud pool or water puddle. Pigs take food very seriously, more so than any other animal. My pig personally, she is very standoffish, and my other pigs are really aggressive when it comes to food, so she doesn't gain as much weight as them. But don't mess with pigs when they're eating because they take food very seriously. Another thing is that pigs are cautious and observant animals. They have poor eyesight, which means that they can't see far, and getting out of the trailer can even be very difficult, or just getting used to new things. Another thing is that pigs can become cannibalistic if not managed properly. And I'll talk about management techniques, how you prevent cannibalism later, but let's talk about the pig's anatomy. Pigs have very poor eyesight. Like I said, they can't see very far, which makes them very scared of trying new things. But they have enhanced smell and hearing, which makes them very useful animals in Europe or England, where they use them for truffle hunting. They also have many organs that are very similar to human organs, such as their lungs, heart, and their DNA is even similar to humans, which a fact that I found. Scientists used pig DNA to cross with jellyfish, and they made piglets that have glowing snouts. Another thing that makes them unique is that, unlike cows, they have thin human-like skin instead of hides, which when I talk about butchering, I'll talk about how that's different from hide. But also, it's important that you have shade in your shelter for the pigs because their thin skin is easily sunburnt, just like human skin is. Now I'm going to talk about some management techniques. When the piglets are born, their tails need to be clipped because, like I said, cannibalism, the pigs will bite each other's tails, and if it draws blood, they'll just keep biting. And then you also need to clip their needle teeth so that when they do bite other pigs, it won't hurt the pig, and they'll also be easier to manage for humans. Pigs are also given a shot of iron at birth because they are naturally born with an iron deficiency. And one identification method that's used for pigs and no other livestock is ear notching. So the farmer will take ear notching pliers and clip triangle-shaped pieces out of the pig's ears, and each area on the pig's ear represents a different number, and that's just unique to pigs. I said earlier that pigs do not have sweat glands, so you'll have to store them in an indoor building with fans and misters and lots of shade for the animal. Finally, I'm going to talk about how pig slaughter is different than any other animal. There's a map here, and it's a little small, so I'll read it to you. But the antemortem inspection is the same as other animals, but most animals are stunned using captive volt pistols, but pigs are stunned with electricity. Then they'll be bled, and next they'll be rinsed out like other animals, but then they'll be put into a scalding bath, which will basically loosen the hairs on the pig's skin because it's harder to remove than a cowhide. After they've been scalded, they go through a dehairing machine that plucks out all the individual hairs so that they can then be eviscerated. After that, they're just inspected and then delivered. And another fact that I found was that pigs yield 5% more meat than cattle. So it means that they're a more efficient animal, and they only take 5 months to grow and ready to be butchered, so they make you money faster. Pigs are also the world's seventh smartest animal, and they are also actually clean animals, but they don't have sweat glands, so that's why they wallow in mud. And my sources, I found most of my information on MidwestResearchSwine.com, NationalGeographic.com, PorkGateway.org, and I found information about slaughter at CFS.gov. Are there any questions? Yes.
So you were talking about how they use pig organs in humans, and they talked about heart valves. Do they use the pig lungs in humans?
Yeah, I researched, or the question has been asked, do they use pig lungs in humans? When I was researching, I found that they can use certain parts of the pig's lungs to transplant into a human, just like they do if a human needs insulin, they can transplant pig heart valves and stuff like that.
Isn't insulin originally from pig? They use pig insulin on humans?
The question has been asked, is insulin originally from pigs? I believe so.
So do they skin a pig, or do they sell that carcass with the skin on?
The question has been asked, do they skin a pig or do they sell it with the carcass on? When I was researching slaughter, they just remove the hair, and I think it's so thin that they don't. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention actually is right after the dehairing machine, they go through something called a singer, and that basically burns off all excess hair, and I'm assuming skin.
So when they cut up the animal, it has the skin on it.
Yeah, when they bleed it.
But when they
eviscerate it, I'm pretty sure they burn the skin off.
They burn the hairs, not the skin.
That's just what I found when I was researching it. Any other questions?
Yeah, what does that say? I can't read it.
Which one?
The bottom one that you didn't talk about.
Oh. This is just a fact that I found. It's that sows sing to their piglets when they're nursing, which I didn't know, and I don't think any other animal does that, at least livestock.